Hey guys, Larry here, and welcome. This is the launch, let's call it a relaunch of an old YouTube channel I used to run, which was called Designer's Edge. I'm rebranding it and calling it Games and Design. Designer's Edge was actually really cool. I loved what I was doing there. I was really starting to help the game development community from the design standpoint, and also just kind of putting a little bit of my life into it as well. Getting back to the original mission, I think it felt like it was time. And why I'd like to do the rebrand and call it Games and Design is because I think in the 2 years since I was running this, my vision for what I would want to do here kind of changed a little bit. I'm a professional game developer. This is my 18th year. I think I'm getting close to 20. I hate to even say that out loud. I'm getting close to 20 years as a professional game developer. And funny enough, since we've last talked, I actually left my last job as a design director and I started my very own game development studio on my own, where I'm running things, I'm calling the shots, I'm bringing in the team, I'm picking the product, and it's hard, but it's good. It's good for me. So with this channel, Games and Design, it's my opportunity to still do what I wanted to do with Designer's Edge, which was I want to share my craft. I love designing games. I love the creativity that goes into game development across the board, don't get me wrong, but I myself am only really a designer. Like, you would only want to pay me for my game design. You probably don't want to pay me for my art or my animation or anything like that. And I love to teach. I taught college level courses in the past. And the hard part there is, like, I can only really handle, 20 students at a time as a professor. Whereas when I do it in this format, I can make content that goes everywhere. So anybody who's interested in learning how to design games better, or wants to have fun watching content or watching someone else who just absolutely loves, the intricacies of doing game design, game development from the creative standpoint, I'm also a YouTuber. So I guess I'm that guy who enjoys making YouTube content and enjoys teaching. So I'm gonna wax on, wax off, and make you guys a channel that shows you behind the scenes of being a level designer or a game designer and doing fun things in that category. Now, let me talk a little bit about myself so that you understand where I specifically, as a teacher or as an educator or as a YouTuber, can actually help you. So most of my career I've worked in Unreal. I've used other engines, don't get me wrong. A lot of them proprietary though, so you just have to throw that away. I'm not gonna make proprietary content for YouTube. I like not being sued. But Unreal is probably the engine that I personally love the most, that I've learned the most and do my best work in, or at least my most familiar work, I would say. You can learn any tool, but Unreal is the one that I use. So if there will be any in-engine tutorials or in-engine content, it's probably gonna be me using Unreal. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let that cat out of the bag. This is probably a good channel for people who like Unreal, but let's say that's half of it though. The other half is, my goal here is not to show you how to use Unreal. Actually, that's not really, I don't really want to make Unreal tutorials. I want to do cool things and show cool ideas come into existence using probably Unreal, right? So if I make a tutorial on hey, here's how to really get the player to pay attention to things that come from behind. And the reason why I say that is, if you work on shooters, if you work on AAA, I don't know when, how, or where, but a lot of people hate or get frustrated when a major source of frustration spawns in behind the player and ruins their day. And I say, well, why? Why is that? Because I don't know that it's there. I don't know how strong it is, and I'm being surprised by it, and I have no time to react. And I'm like, okay, well, why don't we address those things? Because maybe there is some payoff in that oh shit moment, but without the slap in the face that they didn't deserve, right? Anyway, you don't need Unreal to explore that. That is just hypothetical content, or me maybe coming up with a thesis that I want to defend and show this is how I would attack that problem. I would do this, I would do this, I would do this. You don't need an engine to do that, but I would use an engine to display the results, basically. Long story short. So that's part one. Part two for me is, when I open it up to say games, one of the things that I also want to do, and I think it would be good content and just be a great exercise for me anyway as a creative, is, oh my God, I hope my peers don't hate me for this, or I hope people don't hate me for this. I'm not trying to be an elitist. I actually want to redesign games as content on this channel. As a huge consumer of games, as a huge player and supporter, I spend almost all my money on games as much as I do earning it. I give it right on back. It just comes in and it goes right back out, because I love playing games. I love seeing what other developers are doing. I love just, one, experiencing the content, and two, then stealing and learning from the content as much as I can. So the games part of Games and Design is, when I say like, hey, you know what? I want to re-envision the game. I want to take an IP or a property that everyone's familiar with and say, now, if I was running the show, this is what I would do new, or this is what I would do different, or this is some cool things I might add to the product. And I think it'd be cool. Hopefully that brings in attention, which hopefully helps me continue to build the game development studio that I built and started working on since January of 2025. It's not public as of the recording of this video. We have not launched or really said much about our product. We're still cooking in the kitchen a little bit. So my team and I were excited to start talking about the company, but we're not there yet. So just give me some time. But yes, part of my goal with this channel, Games and Design, is I'm a 18-year game development veteran. I've held every job in level design and game design you can think of along the level design and game design track. A junior designer, then a level designer, then a senior level designer, then a lead level designer. And then I ran an entire project as the highest level design decision maker. And then again, I became a director. And then I went to another company as a director. And then I left that company and started my own company. So in the 18 years that I've been doing game development, I've learned a lot about making games. I've been able to express myself creatively in a vast amount of projects, some AAA projects, some indie projects, some mid-tier projects. I even got my career started as an iPhone game designer. So I've done it. I have a lot to offer if you want to learn about game design. I think the tagline here for me is like, gameplay is everything, and everything is gameplay. So I use that as a way to, like, if you're familiar with pillars or funnels or how to like help yourself align to a decision that reaches your goal properly, that's just something that like I'm going to Ted Lasso on the wall maybe and just say gameplay is everything and everything is gameplay, as a way to kind of help me show you like a creative process to solve any problem as a designer and to give your customers a great and fantastic experience. So I'm excited about this channel. I'm very excited about building my company and, you know, seeing that grow as well. But I'm just a helpful person. I used to teach college level classes, you know, and with this format, what I love is I can make a nugget of a piece of content and give it to everybody. Anybody who has YouTube can watch this for free and can learn advanced level game design for free. And granted, it is from my perspective. So I do want to say the things that I enjoy or the decisions that I make aren't the gold rule or gold standard. What I promise I can help you do is not do the bad things probably better than other people can, but I don't want to tell you that there's any one way to do things. And I don't ever want to say this is tried and true and always do this, because that's actually not how I roll. What I want to do is say, try to find the best result that makes sense for your situation and explore. Like, you might come up with something new that other people might laugh at until they play it, right? I always leave room for surprise as a game designer, and I don't really want to hinder or change how you think you should be making games. I just want to help you get to the results faster. I want to help you get to the goals faster by helping you cut out the things that you probably shouldn't do fast, or inspire you to think in different ways that help you just expand your understanding of what makes a game fun, what makes a game challenging, what makes a game feel good, what makes a game play good, what makes a game sticky, what keeps me in the flow, and then how can I take those principles or those general understandings and then apply them in different ways to get results that benefit the product or target goal that I'm after as a designer. So that's what we're going to do here. It's going to be great for me to keep my skills sharp because I'm really much in business mode now, probably not as much in creative mode, which is probably another reason why I'm starting this channel, because I want to stay sharp even if I'm, you know, calling shots and trying to do business deals, etc., to help my company. I don't ever want to forget where I came from and forget that I'm good at it. And maybe if it means anything to the world to see this, if it helps you even get this much better, it was worth it. So Games and Design, we're rebranding from Designer's Edge. We are relaunching it. This is the first video to just say we're back, we're in there, we're going to do fun things, and I'm super excited about this. And I think the other piece of Games and Design that actually I'm committing to, but it's going to be really embarrassing. Like this is going to be really embarrassing because some people might say, oh, you've been developing games for 20 years, so you must be a master. Oh, shit, that doesn't mean shit. That just means I've been getting paid for 20 years to do design. But you don't want to see me animate. No one would pay for my animations. Materials, lighting, you know, all the other post-processing effects, all the other things that it takes to make a game, I really don't touch or don't do. I mainly just focused and doubled down and tripled down on being a better leader or being a better level designer or being a better game designer. But I didn't really spend a lot of time on the art side, right? I didn't really spend a lot of time on the animation side, or better yet, the programming side. And so in telling everyone that like I'm launching my own studio, I think there's an opportunity here to also kind of be in your shoes if you're new, which is, hey, if I'm showing you guys like my own process as I'm learning art again, or like doing these little, like I have these ideas, right? So for example, I want to build a treasure chest, but I want to make a treasure chest that works in a certain way. So like showing you that I go and design it and draw it, and then I model it, and then I try to animate it, and then I put it into Unreal, and then I make it do the things that I said it would do, right? Like I think that would be fun content as well. And maybe it'll inspire people to kind of spread their knowledge gaps out a little bit more, just to pick up 1 or 2 more skill sets. You know, never lose your main priority skill set, because that's where your most value is coming from. But I think where I see the industry going, especially if you're not at like a fully owned and like well-funded company, it might help you to have like a couple different skills that you can bring to the table. But especially if you're starting your own studio, like if you're in my position, it can't hurt to learn more. So you get to see the professional do his mastery work as a designer, and then you get to see him humbled by learning character art, learning environment art, learning animation, learning effects, learning all those other things. I want to bring that story to this channel. So Games and Design is me mainly as a designer, breaking down the game industry from game to game to game, maybe re-envisioning games with my own ideas, or like, hey, here's how I would make, you know, the next Madden. Here's how I would make Hogwarts, or here's how I would make Assassin's Creed or XYZ game, and like really like break down decisions, and then maybe even make a small slice of content that proves out some of those decisions. I think that would be a cool story to watch. So that's what I'm going to shoot for. And then, yeah, because I'm starting my own studio, the lessons and the things that I learn is I try to achieve small goals as a game developer in areas that I'm not experienced at. So yeah, if you want to learn and get excited and have a lot of fun watching somebody make games, I think this is the channel that you want to watch. I probably won't live stream because I like to keep stuff bite-sized and curated so that you enjoy the whole process and I don't waste time from your life. Like, time is the most precious thing. So I want to make sure everything that I give you is like dusted off, clean, cornered, and rounded edges so that it like is satisfying and easy to consume. And that's what I'm gonna do. So Games and Design is back. I'm excited. I'm all set up in my home office. Like, I got all the YouTube lighting and equipment and ideas, and I am ready to rock. So if you've been a fan and you're seeing this, this is not magic. This is real. I'm finally in a place and a space where I can recommit to this mission that I was really excited about a couple years ago. But I'm still in the industry, still making games, and now I'm just doing it for myself. So I want to bring you on that trip with me. Please subscribe, continue to watch content here at Games and Design. We're actually gonna have a lot of fun. I really do believe in this, and I got nothing else after that. I better go work on the first video. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you around.